Hi people, me again of course as always, Andrew usual, Morning Ravenberg. Yeah, this is just a really quick interesting story I wanted to share with people, something that happened to me years ago. Long story short, when I was going to, metaphorically speaking, indescribable hell when I was a child, it got so bad up to the point where I was filled with so much negativity that I just, without being able to control myself, on occasion lashed out at people. Something to the extent of, "Hey Moreno, what? What is it? What? What is it?" That's how I would respond. I would just yell and scream at pretty much everything and everyone. And I'm a dog lover, as in I love dogs. People that follow me know that I've owned dogs. Like on camera, I've shown people I've owned several dogs over the course of my life as well as career overall, that people can see and that they are aware of. So I think ever since I've been an occultist, I've had like, I don't know, let's just say around 5 dogs. Um, of course, when I was a child, we also had dogs in the household, and I also, what I said in the beginning of this video, also applied. Despite the fact that I'm a dog lover, a huge dog lover, I abused through no fault of my own. Not that I'm excusing my faults or anything like that. That of course does not excuse me from any ramifications that were due to come my way or having come my way. But I also took out my negativity on these dogs on occasion, and in hindsight, of course, it when I was, for example, still the average person, and like just maybe like 10 years ago, when I thought about it 10 years ago, tears almost wanted to come to my eyes, in a manner of speaking. I thought to myself that, like, I treated these dogs like what I did to those dogs was so unfair. One dog in particular, and I was just so mentally fucked up and whatnot. Now, since that time, not that I was using, for example, what happened as some kind of leverage or an example of, an anti-example, if you will. But all the dogs I've owned ever since my occult career, I gave those dogs everything. I treated them no differently than I treated myself. Everything, food. I brought them to the park. I spared no expense. I brought them to the vet whenever they were sick. I just treated them literally the way I wanted to be treated. And that incident that I mentioned earlier, like I said, I already had atoned for it and everything. To the point where I was literally told when I was a beginner that I already atoned for all of that. You don't have to worry about that. So of course I already long forgot about it. And then, even for example, where I currently live, my neighbors' dogs, I also took care of them, despite the fact that they're not even my dogs. But, for example, on occasion, these dogs would come by to plead for food. I don't want to say beg, simply plead for food. Because you know what things are like, in the third world, there are barely any animal rights, and people treat their dogs or just plain pets like crap, They don't feed them well, they don't do anything. They just want all the benefits of having pets and none of the drawbacks. They do offensive things like only give a grown-ass dog like 1 loaf of bread or 2 loaves of bread. Without any bread spread, nothing, just a dry loaf of bread. Like really offensive stuff. I mean, any normal person would find this borderline offensive. It's like me giving my children a loaf of bread. Like that's food for them? No, of course not. That's offensive. But unfortunately, people are like that, and what I did is unfortunately the norm in the third world. A lot of bluntly put fucked up people, mentally disturbed people, or people that are going through really hard times, and they lash out, especially at those that can't defend themselves, and that includes unfortunate pets. Anyways, so since let's just say since 2018, every dog that I've had, like I said, I've treated those dogs so well. I gave them everything, like literally. I played with those dogs, everything. On occasion, I gave those dogs my energy, even if they were like traumatized from negative experiences from maybe a prior owner or similar. Not literally in an occult manner, but I usually just hugged these dogs, and my energy automatically had a healing effect on them, and I could tell that they immediately looked a lot better, etc., etc. The way that my divine energy, just exposure to it, will make anyone better, even if I say so myself. Yeah. And then in 2020, the same dog that I had as a child that I abused when I was beside myself, that dog just came to me out of nowhere when I was just like sitting behind the computer the way I usually do. And the dog told me, Moreno, I just wanted to tell you something. I just wanted to say that I forgive you for what you did to me when you were still a child or teenager years ago, so long ago. That's all. And I told the dog, oh, okay, yeah, thanks. I am so sorry. I just, words can't describe how sorry I am. I was just so in such a horrible state of mind. And that's the only reason I did what I did. I never would have done it otherwise, under any other condition. But I was just so out of control that I was just literally just beside myself mentally. And the dog told me, yes, I know, I understand. Because the dog was aware of it even back then. And then the dog disappeared. Now, the point of this video and this information and this message, the message conveyed in this video, is obviously not the virtue signal. As a matter of fact, look at how long ago this was. This was like 4 years ago. By my standards, 40 years ago, 2020 approximately. And that dog appeared to me in astral form, because of course the dog was already long dead by then. I mean, while I was a teenager, the dog was dead. We simply found the dog dead one day. It just like died of natural causes apparently. The point of this video obviously is not the virtue signal. As a matter of fact, I thought I had to think several times about recording this video, as in, should I share it with the public? Should I share it with people? And the first couple of times I said, nah. Over the past couple of months, I was like, nah, it's not really necessary, you know. But I simply decided to go ahead with it anyway, because the thought metaphorically keeps nagging on me on occasion, or nagging at me. The point of the message in this video and my personal experience is that understand that everything you're doing is being watched. And the whole principle of do unto others as they would do unto you and love thy neighbor as thyself is paramount here. Now, I know what that dog was thinking. That dog was thinking, the dog's name was Tessie, by the way, Tessy. And or Tessie. It's been so long, lifetimes, and I still remember it. And we had two dogs back then, Teddy and Tessie. Yeah, one was male, Teddy was male, and Tessie was female. And hold on, give me a moment. Yeah, and the dog was thinking. The dog was essentially thinking, because the dog is seeing it from the astral plane. Look at how well Moreno treats those dogs. Those dogs were completely destitute, etc. Because usually these were like shelter dogs that I adopted, strays that looked like absolute crap before my care. And thanks to me, they started looking amazing. It's like giving a homeless person a do-over, you know. I didn't do this for some kind of comeuppance or anything like that. No, I just did it because I genuinely wanted to help out something, a creature that was in need. And like I said, I literally spared no expense, especially in 2019. I had two dogs back then, little boy, and then when he grew up I called him Paul. I changed his name, and Lady. And like literally everything, they got sick a couple of times, little boy especially, mainly little boy, and I just brought him to the vet, spared no expense. It doesn't matter how much it cost, I just kept going and going and going, and I kept doing all of that. In 2018 even, the Three Swords house, essentially. 2019 was a live stream house. I adopted a dog from the shelter called Serena, and I just gave her everything. And that dog, I could tell that that dog has had a rough time. She was abused severely, because one time my hand slipped and it just by accident landed on her, and it didn't hit her hard, just like this. And she immediately started acting like I was essentially hitting her, not by yelping, but she was sitting on a chair and she immediately jumped off that chair. Essentially she thought it was some kind of warning, as in don't sit in that chair. And I could tell that the dog had a hard time, and I simply consoled her by telling her, no, it's okay, it's your chair, you can do with it whatever you want. I just got up and I hugged that dog every day as a means of healing that dog, and I gave that dog my energy, and I literally just did everything. I bought tennis balls for that dog, I bought footballs, soccer balls, everything. I played with that dog every day. brought that dog out without a leash because I saw that she could control herself. She kept staying by my side and she never like drifted away or anything like that. And it just goes on, and I could tell how happy she was, how she completely looked just good. Like I said, it's like giving a homeless person a makeover or a do-over and providing them with everything. The point of all of this is that that dog, Tessie, saw all of that, and Tessie is like, look at how good Moreno treats those dogs. Look at how he sacrifices for those dogs. And Moreno deserves forgiveness from me, even if he doesn't need it. You know, he's not in debt to me karmically or otherwise. He bears no karmic debt thanks to his own magical practice and whatnot. But she simply wanted to forgive me of her own accord, from her own heart, because she saw how well I treated others, specifically other dogs, and the joy I brought them. That's the whole message in this story, okay? It's a literal example of the reference, do unto others as they would do unto you, and love thy neighbor as thy love thyself. That's all. Bye-bye.